Hello everyone, it's Kari from sunshineonmypocket.com, and today I have this really fun skeleton. I'm going to put this together for you. This is the first one I put together and I thought it was a little dark, so I'm going to show you how I'm going to fix that. I've die cut a second one out with some lighter tan colors, and I'm also going to be sharing with you some of my favorite easy Halloween backgrounds. So stay tuned for that, but first let's go ahead and put this guy together. He is called Mr. Bones, and this is a design from Tim Holtz. This is the first time I'm trying one of these Colorize dies, and it's got multiple layers, but I thought it was easier than I expected. The body itself has 2 layers, so you can see the first layer is the darker tan color. Now I'm putting on the second layer that I cut out of kind of like a cream color cardstock. And this layer comes in sections, so you do have to kind of put it together in sections here. You can see this hand is separate from the rest of the body and the other, the ribs. But it's pretty simple. The smallest part for me was the feet. So the feet was kind of a little trickier, and then here's the little arm, also very thin. But if I had my magic wand here that's kind of like a gem picker on one side and it's a pokey tool on the other side, it made it so easy because I could just poke them out of the die cut there and then glue them on with the other part if I needed to pick it up with the gem picker. So as I put this together, you'll see on to the right there are also 3 extra layers for the face. So I cut these all out of the same color of paper, thinking that I could just darken up some of it with some ink colors. This skeleton kind of made me laugh because my little nephew, he has a life-size skeleton. Somehow he got his grandma, my mom, somehow he got his grandma to buy that for her. Oh, I just wanted to show you here that the eyes on the picture show that they're black. So I'm going to cut this one out, just this piece out right here, if I can keep it in my hands here. I'm going to cut this one out with black so that I can put the eyes right back in, and there you go. I'm going to add the black portions right in there, and they fit right in perfectly. So see here, I'm just putting it in with my gem picker, and this one was stuck inside the die, so I just put it over the top and used the pokey tool side to put it right in there. So perfect. So this next layer I'm going to glue down, and then I'm going to pop it all up, you'll see, with foam tape. Since I cut this all out of the same color of cream cardstock, I'm going to ink up a little bit of this layer here with just a touch of brown, make it a little bit darker and give it some more dimensional look. You can see this top layer, it fits only over a portion of it. And then I'm going to take some foam tape and pop that up right on top of the whole thing. That was my favorite part. I love the dimension on this guy. Look at how cool that looks. Now this one I glued all the way flat and I didn't give him black eyes, so you can see the difference. It's so much better the second one. So I'm going to fix this first one. I'm going to cut out the face part again for this one and build it up like I did on this second one, because I think it looks so much cooler with the dark eyes and the popped up face. So let's just go ahead and do that. But back to my story about my nephew. He is 6 years old, or he was 6 years old at the time, and they were at Costco with my mom, who's his grandma, and he saw this life-size skeleton and he wanted it. So he asked his grandma to get it for him, and she of course said yes, and she got it for him, and they took it home, and he will put it in different parts of the house to scare his brothers and his mom. And so you'll just find this, and he calls him Mr. Spooky. That's his name. So now this skeleton here, I'm calling him Mr. Spooky in honor of my nephew, who loves to just arrange them in different spots. Now this first one, as I mentioned, was a little bit darker, so I'm taking some white pigment ink and just rubbing it on there. And now I'm going to show you the backgrounds. This one, this brick stencil, use this embossing folder. It's actually not a stencil, it's an embossing folder, excuse me. I used it on some black cardstock. It looks so cool. It's a little bit hard to see in the video, but I'm taking that same white pigment ink and just inking some of that on to lighten up spots of it so that it looks like a little bit different and it's got some light coming off it. And now I'm taking some white gesso and I'm just going to work it into those lines of this brick embossing folder, or the brick paper that we embossed with the embossing folder. And this is going to make it come to life. This is going to give it more of that concrete feeling in between the bricks. And you're going to see the light is going to play off this a little bit. It's such an easy thing to do. Now, I did a video previously where I made a couple different colors of bricks. I did a red one and I did a gray one, but this one is completely different. It's more of a Halloween vibe. And I think I'm going to get a lot of use out of this. I love it. So super simple to do. I'm just kind of working that in with the small paintbrush and then rubbing it with my fingers to get it off the brick part and more into the lines. But if it's not perfect, that's okay too, because this is a Halloween card. It can be scary. It can be a little bit weird too. But look at how Mr. Bones, or Mr. Spooky, as my nephew would call him, just pops off the back. Now I did another background on white paper and he disappears. So let's fix that one. I'm going to instead take some Stormy metallic paper. This is some of my favorite cardstock. It's kind of a gray, but it's got a metallic finish to it. I'm going to stamp on this Damask stamp, which, by the way, is from Maker Forte, designed by Eileen, and it sold out so fast. They just got it back in, but I know that it sells out really fast, so go take a look at that. I will have all the products listed in the description below as well if you're interested. But anyway, on this Stormy metallic and embossed with some black glitter embossing powder, it looks so cool with that Mr. Spooky. To finish off these cards, I'm going to cut out some of this lantern. I really love this set. I have some great magnetic board here that is nice and thick that I like to organize it on so that it doesn't fall off and I don't lose any of the pieces. It makes it easier for me to figure out what I need to die cut as well and what goes with what. In this instance, I'm going to do the larger lantern here, and the back piece I'm going to cut out of a black mirror cardstock, and then the front piece a black cardstock and then a gray cardstock. And look how great that looks. So cool and easy to come together, but look what happens when I put it on that background. I'm going to have the Mr. Spooky kind of holding that, but it just disappears. So here's a trick for you. I die cut it out 4 more times with some cream colored cardstock. I'm building it up. I'm layering all 4 of those pieces of the cream cardstock together, and then I'm putting it all on the back of the black lantern and offsetting it just a touch. So see how the cream kind of sneaks out behind the black, and now it pops right off that background. So I added a candle to the inside of that one, and look how cool that brickwork looks. I added a simple saying sentiment. This comes from Maker Forte. You can cut these out. You can foil them if you want to. I'm using the black side of this paper and just cutting out a couple sentiments. Here's Mr. Spooky on that Damask background that we embossed with glitter. I added some black cardstock to the back of that one as well. So a couple really simple, easy Halloween cards, and really fun to put together too. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was very quick, but it was really fun. So I hope you loved it. If you did, give me a thumbs up. It really helps me out. And please subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a thing. I'll be back real soon with more card making inspiration. Thanks for stopping by, and thanks for your comments. Bye-bye.